Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabans. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and always hit them. And today we have a very interesting show in store for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, this has been a pretty interesting calendar year for the NBA. As you know, on opening night, there was some excitement, as there always is, with the NBA returning. And the NBA had some pretty marquee games. They had the Knicks on TV playing that night, on that night, I think, versus the Boston Celtics, if my memory serves me right. And then, of course, we had the game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And when the season kicked off, those games drew some pretty good ratings. But the very next night, we witnessed a sharp decline in the numbers. Sharp decline. And ever since that, it's been on this trajectory where things have been going down. But nevertheless, there's some people out there that are telling you this is the greatest time ever in terms of the NBA. We even heard some former NBA players, like some former greats, actually come out and give reasons as to why they think this decline took place. I actually want to read from a front office sports report that I got here, with Shaq actually giving his take on why he believes the ratings are down. Article says NBA ratings are dipping, and one legend has a theory as to why. The NBA ratings have dropped to open the season, and one of the prevailing theories for the disinterest from fans is due to this generation's style of play. NBA legend and TNT broadcaster Shaquille O'Neal raised the issue of the NBA's declining viewership on Thursday's episode of The Big Podcast, following news that many of the league's primetime games during the first 2 weeks of the season saw double digits declines. O'Neal claimed the three-point movement has made the game repetitive. I have a theory that ratings are down because we're looking at the same thing, O'Neal said. Everybody's running the same plays. I don't mind Golden State back in the day shooting threes, but every team is not a three-point shooter. O'Neal's far from the only one who has pointed out that the three-point shooting is a problem in the NBA. The Ringer's Kirk Goldsberry has been writing about the three-point revolution for a decade, and said on an October episode of the Bill Simmons podcast that he spoke to Adam Silver in 2019 about potential changes to the three-point line. His primary proposal is simply to extend the three-point line, extend the three-point arc, so it won't be easy for the average player to knock it down. Every other league on the planet that matters, the W, college basketball, FIBA, they've all moved the line back this century. The NBA is the only one that hasn't. Goldberry said in the article, went on to say a few other things there, right? So it said that you guys can read it there in its entirety. So basically, Shaq is complaining about the threes. But we have another person in media that actually has another theory as to why things are trending in the direction that they're trending in. And that person is ESPN's own Brian Windhorst, who put out some statements where he basically is saying that the NBA is not in a good place because of the coverage from the media. So I actually want to get into his comments here. And I'm reading this from an NBA Central. It says, Brian Windhorst says the NBA media is not in a good place. NBA media right now, we're not in a great place because I think we're devaluing things that help build the league up. Like, one of the things is storytelling. Everything is too short right now. People are too focused on tweets, too focused on guys getting crossed over, guys getting dunked on, guys getting embarrassed, social media posts, not as much on storytelling, learning about players, and learning their backgrounds, what I call chronicling the season. And of course, some people under that tweet responded and agreed with him and said, you know, Brian, you have a point and all that. So what are my thoughts on all of this? I think the NBA has a bunch of problems in terms of the storytelling, style of play, and all. There are a bunch of things at play here. Number one, the general attitude of the product towards its consumers. The NBA, more than any other league, says we don't care about the fans. And you can see it from the behavior of the players. They don't care about putting on a good show at the All-Star weekends. They don't put forth any effort in the All-Star game. The star players don't even participate in the slam dunk contest. I remember when All-Star Weekend used to be a big thing. Like, you used to be really excited to watch All-Star Weekend. Now, I don't even watch it at all. I don't watch it at all. And if I'm saying that as a person that's followed the NBA for 20 years, then I know that there are a lot of people who are longtime fans of the league feel the same way. I know that. So that's the first thing. The second thing, to Shaq's point, the style of play, it is absolutely horrendous. Let me give you guys some information here. Teams are attempting around 35 threes a game, which means that let's just distill this number down for you guys so you guys can understand just how bad it is to watch. It means that on average, a team is attempting 8.7 3-point shots a quarter. If you have teams averaging 8.7 3-point attempts a quarter in a game where you're watching two teams, it means that on average, you're watching about 17.5 3-point attempts per quarter. If you look at that in a game, it means that on average, you can be watching a game where teams attempt around 70 or more threes in a game. 70 or more 3-pointers attempted. That is just not fun to watch. It is not fun to watch. I believe analytics is ruining the NBA. I really do. I heard a comment that Stephen A. Smith made on ESPN, and I was floored. He was speaking to Chris Mad Dog Russo, and Chris Mad Dog Russo was saying how horrible of a GM Daryl Morey is. And he said that he's one of the advocates for this analytics. And he said there was one game where his team lost the game, and Daryl Morey walked up to his coach, and he's like, if you look at the stats and the analytics, we actually won the game. The team lost, but according to the analytics, they won. And now they're trying to intellectualize basketball and remove the common sense out of basketball. There's a lot of dumb basketball being played as well, which I think is something else that's turn off fan. Another thing is the lack of defense. When there's no resistance in something, what's the fun in it? Imagine playing a game that's dumb easy to play. How much fun will you have in a game that's so easy to play? That's another part of it. And then also Adam Silver just allows these guys to walk all over him all day long. There are a lot of fans that wish David Stern or someone like David Stern was at the helm. It's the fact. I'm speaking from the fans' perspective. In terms of what Brian Windhorst is saying, in terms of the coverage and all of that, well, that's the way things are trending. The TikTok, Instagram and all of that. You got people coming to our shows, man, why is this video so long? Why don't you get to the point? I'm like, yo, go to TikTok. If you're looking for that microwave bubblegum content, go to TikTok. They'll give you a video in 30 seconds. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not trying to rush myself. People want things fast, and they want the next thing. They want the next thing. They want the next thing. And it's the way for the NBA to engage with its fans. This is how they like content. This is how they like to consume what it is that they watch. And she also talked about storylines and all of that. That's gone away because there's storylines, but to be honest with you, the NBA's storylines now per season is just one story. That's the Lakers. That's the major storyline in an NBA season, the Lakers. LeBron James, the problems with the Lakers, and now this season, LeBron James, the problems with the Lakers, JJ Redick, and Bronny James. That's the entire NBA season for you. As a matter of fact, we put up a post on our channel that got a pretty decent amount of engagement about a day ago. You got 1,000+ likes and 500 comments, and I wrote, mark my words, we will look back at the NBA years from now and we will see that the Bronny James push will be one of the downfalls of the NBA. The league is degenerating into a clown show that promotes a lousy product. If Bronny is what you have to offer your customers for entertainment, you're in trouble. Bronny is trash even in the G League, yet he's being promoted more than All-Stars. Think of all of the other professional sports leagues and then think of the NBA. A bunch of BS. The NBA went from Magic, Bird, MJ, Kobe, LeBron to Bronny James. Bronny just scored 6 points with 5 turnovers in the G League, and he is all over social media being promoted like we're witnessing something special. Think about that. This is how low the NBA has fallen. So I ask, how exactly has LeBron pushed the sport forward? From what I can see, he's actually helping to make it worse. A lot of people agree with me. The NBA it's just not what it used to be. Period. Point blank. So the question to the audience is, how do we fix this? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you on the next show. Peace.